Obviously, massive play made in the Commanders-Bears game, and there's a lot of chitter-chatter around it, whether it's Tyreek Stevenson, what he's doing during the play, Jaden Daniels extending the play, throwing the bomb, them making the catch. How do you view this? And with the Hail Marys, what are the things you were teaching your team, both on offense and defensive side of the ball?
Well, first of all, Daniels does a great job of running around and extending the play. And you see at the very end how he moves forward and launches the ball. It looks like it's going to come down right on the goal line or maybe a yard or so short. It's a long throw, but he needs to be able to step into it and launch it down there. So let's say on the pass rush, you want to try to avoid that from happening. Offensively, do what he did, extend the play as long as you can, give everybody a chance to get in the end zone, and then you really want to have one guy jumping, somebody that's big and can jump. Keyshawn Johnson was probably the best guy for me when I was at the Jets. He did that, and then have the other players play the tip or the rebound, as we would call it. But what really makes this play go is Daniels, and then nobody for the Bears comes to attack Daniels, so he's able to step in and javelin it, about 65 yards, into that crowd, and then all the Bears guys go up at once to try to tip it. They're all in the air, so nobody can play the tip, and it's an easy touchdown.
We went through it every single week during our walkthrough.
Yep.
At the very end, there was always, I assume you guys did as well. What do you think? This was just lack of focus in a key moment? Because obviously 29 is a part of the story. They're 40 yards down the field already. He's still talking shit to the crowd. How's that happen? And what do you think happens there between Coach Eberflus and he today or after the game?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a ridiculous play. Doesn't get the call, doesn't know how they're going to play it. It looks like Washington is trying to run a little bit of an over route too, where they would run past that jump ball area, and then everybody kind of scrambles back to the middle once Daniels buys time and resets. But it's really a great job by Washington. They have two guys going up for the ball, one guy playing for the front tip, one guy playing for the back tip, and obviously a terrible play by Stevenson. He has no idea what's going on and runs over there and jumps up and volleyballs it up in the air for a game-losing play. It was terrible.
It was. I thought it was a fake video. When it hit the internet, I thought it was a fake video. I said, there's no way. This is the NFL. There's no way in this moment. You're literally 6-7 seconds away from a win. Yeah. You can hold off. 6-7 seconds. Can you not? Even if you need to talk shit to somebody, have to.
No, you don't need to. You don't need to. That's where you get with your teammates and say, okay, I'm going up for the jump. I'm going to have the outside tip. I'm going to have the in-front tip. I'm going to have the back tip. Because you don't want them to tip it forward and have somebody catch it on the 5-6 yard line and just walk into the end zone either. So you really want to kind of box out the potential receivers, but have somebody who's big and strong and tall enough to go and jump high enough to get the ball and make sure that, the receiver just doesn't jump up and pull it down for the catch. But then you have to be ready to handle the tip. And, of course, you can get two hands on the ball. The best thing to do is just knock it straight down onto the ground. But the one thing you definitely don't want to happen here either that Chicago lets happen is the quarterback doubles back. And once he scrambles out to one side or the other, whoever the last man is in the rush from the middle of the field should get to the quarterback's level and not let him double back and force him to stay on the side of the field that he's on. So, there's some breakdowns in the rush, and there were some breakdowns, obviously, in the coverage. And Daniels, his athleticism and his arm made the play possible. And it was a great job by Washington keeping it alive.
Go ahead, D-Buck.
Hey, Coach, what about that play right before that kind of set up the Hail Mary throw to Terry? Terry McLaurin, I believe, got that 13 yards. How would you play this situation with no timeouts for the offense?
So we'd play outside leverage on all the receivers and then play, 2 or 3 deep players. But not let. I mean, they give up a cheap. It's about cheap. We call it a cheap 5, but it's actually a cheap 10, maybe 12, whatever it was. It just makes the throw a little bit easier. So, there's no reason to just let him get the ball to the midfield where the Hail Mary's in reach. Otherwise, this is a desperado play where they lateral it around and that type of thing, and those plays are a lot harder to connect on.
Eberflus came out.
Yeah, really good point, D. But it wasn't just the last play. It was the play before the last play that really made that possible. But like right here, to me, the two defensive linemen, one of those two defensive linemen should keep Daniels from coming back to the middle of the field where he can just launch it.
They all lined up on that left side to almost like seemingly want to flush him to the other way. So then when he counters back and then he's able to get back, that is a great play. Coach Eberflus told reporters today that Tyreek Stevenson addressed his teammates today about the incident, and then he also said that Tyreek's got to do a good job of putting his body on Noah Brown. So I guess his role was to probably get the guy that was in the – so, I mean, that's just complete – worst case scenario for Tyreek Stevenson. Worst case scenario for what he did, how he went about doing. You had you said Keyshawn. You also, I remember Randy, I think, was back there a couple times. You had Gronk back there. They threw one underneath though, which is a nightmare, I assume, for that situation. But obvious Hail Mary, you always want with an offensive guy because they're just comfortable with the ball.
Oh, no, we go with defensive players, too. I mean, Talib was great. Aqib Talib was great because he was tall. He had great ball skills and great jumping ability. So whoever that player is, I think he has to have a level of toughness. He can't get pushed around back there. He's got to be able to stand up to to a bunch of guys trying to box him out like underneath the basket in basketball. So you want somebody that has some playing strength, some height and ball skills. McCourty, was the free safeties, Eric Turner in Cleveland, free safety, Devin McCourty, guys like that. They could certainly do it too. But, a guy like Keyshawn that's tall and strong. I met with Keyshawn every week about this play. And so, he was great to coach. But we'd spend 5 minutes, every week going over how they ran it, 2x2, 3x1, how far the quarterback could throw it and so forth. And he was great, Randy, Rob, like all those guys.
Yeah. That play is going to be remembered forever. 1 verse 2, how's it end? Hail Mary, which ends up with 29 having to apologize to his teammates the next day. Never a good thing. What were your initial? We thought it was a fake video.
I can't believe how long he was talking to the crowd. First off, like you said, they're 40 yards down the field, and he still has his back turned.
He said he was celebrating with Bears fans. He was not talking any shit. He said it was not. It was not a shit talk. It was a celebration with the Bears fans. And Zito has said, if you look at the bottom, Bears fans are telling him to turn around.
They are. That's the
hey,
they snapped the ball.
There's a game.
You can see him pointing.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, he's right here.
Jeez.
What happens if they knock it down here and they win? Then obviously it's still, what do you say to this guy?
He goes back to that crowd and says, we did it.
Yeah.
We did it.
And it's cool.
But
just like I said. And I assume meeting with coaches and Eberflus and your DB coach and everything, they're definitely going to point it out and say, we can't do this. Obviously, we got away with this. You got to pay attention. But it's nowhere near what it is now.
No.
That Murphy's Law happens and anything that could go wrong for this guy did go wrong after he acted like an asshole while the play was very much developed. And him being the last one to touch it.
And he comes out and says, okay, I was supposed to be on Noah Brown.
I'm not supposed to jump
I'm
all there.
I'm glad he acknowledged it. I'm glad he's acknowledged it and talking about it. Like I like that part about it.
I agree. I appreciated him apologizing, having some self-awareness. It's like anytime you do that, at least you address the elephant in the room. People aren't going to forget about it, but at least people think that you know that what you did was wrong. It's like, I don't want to, hammer it home, and I hope not anymore.
You just can't all jump at the same time. You got to,
That's
hammer what?
You got to, like D-Butt said, man, you have to have a back tip guy, front tip guy. Like, that's boxing them out.
Four guys four guys jump. They're playing like jackpot 1,000.
Yeah.
Like in a pool. That is literally what they were playing there, throwing the ball up. And you would think they had practiced, so that's just all MAs at the same exact time, I guess.
And it does kind of help when you have that one, like if Keyshawn Johnson's back to Randy Moss, whoever it is, Kyle Pitts, whoever that player may be, it does kind of help just mention like, okay, that's clearly a fucking jumper. So my job is to box out, back tip, whatever that is. So when everybody's going up, that's never good. It's been situations where DBs go up and try to get a cheap pick. Everybody looked like they tried. The coaches, bat it down. He obviously batted it up. I mean, just all-time bad. And this is a clear case of, winning cures all because they win this game. Like, we're laughing about this at the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
Like,
Look at this.
What the fuck are you doing? Like, you blah, blah, blah. But you joking about it, you kikiing about it, but now you lose. And now you just feel like the biggest asshole, in the world. So, hopefully he learns from it. Hopefully he makes a big play in the Super Bowl, and we all fucking forget about it. That would be the only play that would erase this one from
playoff game, something huge, pick six. I mean, obviously, and we hope he will go on to do that. Even though I'm sure if I'm a Bears fan, you don't want that to be in a Bears uniform. That's what I saw going around. Is obviously people saying get him out of here, but all 4 dudes jumping indicate to me that there's a lot going on over there in Chicago, right? Like
every team is showing their team this play as well. And coaching up how they're going to play the Hail Mary.
I had full faith in Eberflus. Like I was an Eberflus believer, and I think I still am, obviously, because of what the team has shown. But I thought Eberflus's thing was like accountability on the defensive side of the ball. We're going to do things right, yada. That's 4 MAs right there. Well, 3 at least. Well, maybe 4. No, because the one person is supposed to jump.
Yep.
So that's 3 MAs if you just go off of what everybody else has said about this particular play and how you defend it. It's like that's not good either. Let alone the game still happening, talking shit or celebrating with fans while play is happening. Most important play. It's like that's a whole nother conversation, but it's also in that particular moment at least 3 MAs. And maybe the wrong. Maybe I don't know.
So they said in the press conference today that 31, that was the guy in the back, was supposed to be the jumper, and then obviously Tyreek was supposed to be boxing out 85, so the savior.
And then the other 2 guys probably in the front, I guess, probably boxing out, man ball.
McLaurin was like in the front, kind of on the sides. Were all the teams you guys played for rush 3, drop everyone else? Because the other 2 times this year it's happened, like for instance against Houston for the Colts yesterday, they had a Hail Mary at the end of the game, and Houston brought 5 or 6, and then they just sacked AR.
Yeah, we didn't even get a throw off.
And then Lions against the Vikings when they were up by 2 in that last play snap.
They had a spy too. This team, this team had like a spy. What was he going to do? He was going to run.
He's there to try to. He's there to try to like. There's usually a guy that you don't want to let him crow hop into the throw. So but if you see the spy guy. Up. No, he takes off like he's like, all right, Jaden's going to scramble here. I got to go here. When he, like Bill said, he's got to be on the other side and not let Jaden come make this turn and crow hop into it.
No, there he pulled up like right before he threw.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he saw the lineman in front of him. But, yeah, like you can't – yeah, it's hard.
But, yeah.
Imagine Brown drops that. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God.
Every team –
too easy.
Yeah, every team I've been on has been – we played it similar to this. I always was in the mindset of like, hey, let's blitz them, make them throw it as fast as possible. But most of the teams I've been on have played it similar to this. Usually, like Bill said, if it's 2x2, usually all 4 guys are running to the goalpost. If it's 3x1, it's either a jump ball on that side of the field to the right or left. And then you got that one, it's usually like the X receiver, a deep hop, or McLaurin or whoever who will be that one backside. So it's different ways to go about it, obviously offensively and defensively. But when it comes, and you walk through it literally every week, and then the one time it happens, it sucks. But on the flip side, like for the Commanders, for them to win and like execute it exactly how they wanted to.
Yeah.
And then that sideline, like the videos they had of Dan Quinn in the sideline reacting, like that was unreal.
McLaurin's there too for the tip as well. Like McLaurin's there watching in great position too if it tips forward.
And Zach Ertz goes upper.
Yep.
They executed perfectly.
Yeah, because he's trying to get it up.
Ertz's job is to cause scrum.
Yeah.
Like that is what. Now, granted, catch if you can, but also let's keep this fucker alive.
Yeah.
Almost. Wow. Commanders are a different team.
Good program.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Congrats, Commanders fans. I don't know how you feel about the name of the team, but your team's playing vastly different.